really not sure about this area here. This whole person or creature. But I think it's quite important to get it right. I'm going to make this rock larger because I don't like a bottom. And it's confusing me. I quite like that she has a kind of embrasure. Is that the right word? A shield? Embrasure. Okay. Well, I'm using quite a large brush here. I have a fade on opacity, but it's I think it's 200 pixels. So it's quite large, but there is a fade there. And it just makes it a little bit less white knuckle to use. This here, this is wrong, isn't it? I don't know what this is, but this might be her fingers, if you would call it that. Okay, anyway, this is wrong. I don't know why that's there. It's a shadow. I'm gonna take it out. This is rough, and I'm gonna be freaking myself out looking at this. But I need to be able to see what is ahead I'm aiming for. I can't just land directly on it. There will be a shadow, there will be quite a dark shadow there because the dominant light source is coming in from this direction. This is wrong too. Is this a tentacle or is this the shape of a torso? What am I going for? Oh, it could be a tentacle, this thing here, so it would curl more. It would curl, and that would also mean that, and this needs to be darker here. I'm going to clone some darkness into that area. Turn up to 40 opacity. Some of this darkness once you have it. See how that looks. I'm not a fan of there being so much of this apparatus, the brush and the ink pot, and sometimes the circular enclosure that happens with the clone brush. I prefer to just be able to see the effects of what I do. Of course, you've got to have a rough idea of where the cursor is, haven't you? Something less impulsing, because I like using the clone brush just to get an idea of where I want things to be. Just using dots of the colour I think is most appropriate. Just to suggest a line. It's like drawing with a very light touch and a pencil. I like doing dots. I like solid lines until I'm absolutely sure is what I want. Well, this will be curling around this tentacle And I think I'm really conflicted about whether she has one leg. Why am I thinking it's a she? It doesn't have to be a she. It's wild. It's a dryad. It's social conditioning, isn't it? I am so sorry to all the dryads out there. Not trying to gender bully you. It's not my intention. What was I doing? This jawline. Jawline here. This will be darker. Or even. Polish is great for blending, but it's a little bit rough and ready. I'm only at 60 zoom here, so I'm not even looking at this the way it might be printed. It'll look like I've done this with one of those long brush guides, and I've been standing maybe a metre away from the canvas. If this was traditional art painting. And the dark line is the shadow of the area, light facing surface of this tentacle. It tends to turn into something rather naive. It's going to go a little bit more cartoonish than I'm happy with. It's not my intended style for this to be cartoonish. I suppose I'm aiming for a cross between something photographic and I mean these trees here are classic oil landscape painting, aren't they? Don't know how I feel about that. Chocolate boxy. So making a dark line here. I kind of understand the mythos of Janus in doing this, because I think anybody doing this, anybody doing a painted art, would try to employ the way of looking at it, looking to the future a little bit and looking into the past, but never the present. So we kind of say we're looking at what we want to happen at the same time as looking at what has just happened. When you become very deliberate about every mark you make and where it's sourced from, where it's dragged from, then you're very much in the moment. And it's the moment that is leading you. Now I'm getting a little bit of an oxygen high from talking too much. I've just been watching this chap on YouTube, G Reveals. He is American, and he studies British culture and reviews it using old footage or other YouTube uploads. So it's a very intelligent format. He uses "show me on a map." That's his trademark phrase now, which I think he should stick with. It works. Might become a bit of an albatross, but just thing there. Why am I talking about that? Contact eyes. Not contact. Too much oxygen. Oh, why am I recording? Well, that led into. Well, I was watching a thing about mods and rockers that he was doing, and that led into another video of his, a review of the origins of pirate radio. And it struck me that maybe if I talk for these, not so much about my thoughts on what's happening as a kind of pirate radio. It's not too way too hyphen. But I'm back to talking into the Microsoft Array microphone on the laptop here. Oh, because of problems. Because everything's complicated. And ChatGPT, I love you dear, but you just tell me what I want to hear all the time. There's a constant struggle in life between the people that will tell you everything you want to hear all the time and the people that will deliberately tell you what you don't want to hear all the time. And for this reason, partly at least, feedback sucks. It absolutely sucks. But maybe most humans crave it a little bit. We have different needs, different quantities of feedback. A little bit. It's like salt. Feedback is like salt. So this is a tentacle and not her shape. And this, I'm going to make this a double tentacle, I think. So, even though this would be in darkness, gradually increasing in darkness, I need to really suggest the shape is continuing down to where though? Behind her arm? I used to think this is what it was meant to be here. It was meant to be this thing coming out there. But what if it's tucked behind her arm and it comes out there and hides that strange bottom? Oxygen high, talking too much. Hides the strange thing here, and that could look so wrong. And the good thing about the strange bottom is it has this little touch of light here which makes sense. But, so, tentacle out here, this is getting ambitious. a really long tentacle, and then it kind of goes behind the rock there, and then follows around here and ends here. Are you ready? Are we go for this? Right, okay. Right. Oh gosh, I need to. Right, I'm buzzing a little bit. Breathing too hard. I'm gonna make mistakes now. Let's just move this over here. Actually, wait, can I just stop talking for a bit and concentrate and breathe? So, I'll do that. So, that. Where would it come out? Let's draw the line. I'm going to turn the opacity right up. 80, 90. This is going to be sacrificed. But this goes around here. Will that look right or that does look weird? Behind the rock. So, okay, the curve, okay, it's kind of held there. So it's going to be popping out beneath their arm, isn't it? Because it's just at the bottom. I'm going to draw a line. Oh no, I've got it. Okay, we're using the clone brush, unfortunately. I'm not sure if there's a way that you can draw a line based upon the sample without the sample moving in accordance with the line. I can maybe. Just gonna. Right. Okay, I can do bigger dots if I put that there and just smudges. That would go up there. This is just bonkers. Why am I doing this? Oh, this is so naive. This is baby's first drawing. Dark, light. This would be, I mean, it would be in shadow as well. I think it's so nice. 11. Put there. I have yet to master on this iteration of PixPus Pro how to just draw with colour without setting it up as a new layer and a vector, and I hate that. It's too much of a learning curve. Just for like casual. And I noticed that PixPus Pro have released a painter version of PixPus Pro, which obviously costs a lot more, and maybe in that they take off some of the limitations that this has introduced. So you can just get your brush out, modify your brush, choose your colour and paint with it. Which would be lovely if that was an option. You could do that with this PixPus Pro 7 that I was using before this. But the interface is so rough. Once you've been using this, PixPus Pro 7 is so retro. Are you a tentacle or a leg? Sure. It's like it's going around your back there. I quite like that. Not around your arm. In there. Around the back. Come on. Okay. Choose the colour. It's maybe too vivid, but this is baby's first drawing. the rock. You won't see any of the water there. It's going to be dark, but it's not going to be water. It's not going to be blue. Well, I'm not swearing. I've seriously inhaled too much oxygen. It's probably quite healthy. That looks like a biscuit, doesn't it? It looks like a chocolate chip cookie now. And where's that one? Okay, I'm going to do a little bit there, and then come up there, and then go down there. I'm going to use the light. This is so scary. Do you know, she just turn the size up. Turn the size right up. 50. It's now a 50 brush. And I'm just going to try it and draw the line. A nice arch before dropping back into the water closer to us and the leg. There. This rock. Yeah, I don't know if I do this. That leg just looks weird. She will be in the water. I've done it again. The dryad would be in the water up to her waist. And would the leg be there? Could you be this one is in the water, you see? This one is in the water, so the water is clearly deep enough to stand in at this point. The water, is the water this deep or is the water this deep? And this deep? Where does the water end? The leg is in the way, isn't it? There's no leg. Right, okay. God, this is scary. I'm gonna go really big. What's the biggest I can go? 300? Oh no. I'm gonna move this. Too much oxygen. I think it's quite wonderful that this image was generated from my prompt. It was generated in Bing Image Creator, and this is called generative AI. Gets very confused mid deciding where to put something. Is that a leg? she coming out of the water? And it has a tendency to change direction halfway through. But the seed of the direction, oh, that's too much. You see, I should have masked that off. Mask the arm off. Got this set on 20. What's it? Generative image AI. It tends to get confused mid-generation as to where things go. But what that means, if you want to tinker the image afterwards, you can go either way. You have two choices. You can do what the AI was going for before it changed its mind, or after it changed its mind. And in this case, I think I'm now going for the version where the dryad is up to its waist in water. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Oh, hang on. So when I've got the well, I've got the perimeter drawn. That's what that looks like. So scary. What was I doing? 20, 30, 30, 40. That's I think what I should do is maybe make this preview window into 400% view and do each quarter individually, because I can't see what on earth is going on. Zoomed out by looking at this. It's like the Easter ornament. It gives a pretty reference to what might be happening in a particular area, but it's far too zoomed out for me to be able to tell. Make use of it. That's starting to look like a reflection or something now. What would it be? It's tentacle. What a tail. And the dryad is into the water, waist height. But this is red. I think it's better if you're going to do something like that with a really big brush, zoomed out, just redefining the shape. Do it first. Don't be finishing off areas of the image some days and then drawing wholly new ones the next. It's coming up to 30 minutes now, and this is the point where I'm going to be crestfallen when I discover that nothing has been recorded. in terms of audio, and all my hyperventilating was filmed. Just to be said, I am really dizzy now, and I'm going to have to go and sit in the garden for a while. And hopefully the darkness has seen off the last of the most persistent flies, and I can breathe. Where? See. Well, I'll continue with this when I come back. But I need to go and breathe. I'm not going to zoom out so you can get a good look at it. Look at this. Look.